Blood sugar. So many questions on this. How do I control my blood sugar? How do I lower my glucose? How do I lower my A1C? How do I help reverse diabetes? Questions all the time from you on blood sugar. If you're a blood sugar struggler or you have a family member that is, this video is for you. So let's break this down straight from you guys from the questions. How do we handle blood sugar? Listen, this in a lot of cases is a problem created by the way we live our lifestyle. But the good news for you is if you can lifestyle your way into it, you can lifestyle your way out of it. So I'm going to give you the helpers from a food perspective that will get you there, the eating approach and the lifestyle approaches, and then some specific questions digging into those that you're struggling trying to undo this straight from you guys in the community. How do I control the blood sugar levels? How do we normalize these things? Well, let's stop spiking them. Oftentimes I get recommendations, and one of these came from one of your questions, that your nurse practitioner said, eat a bunch of small meals throughout the day. Well, every time we eat, depending on what you eat, you're spiking blood sugar levels, and then they start to level back out, and then we eat again. And so the more often we do this throughout the day, the more we are taking that up and down and up and down and up and down. So one way to help this out is through fasting, where you're going a period of time, you're not spiking those at all, and then you have a meal, okay? So then the second way is, what do you eat at this meal? In order, fat has the least amount, if none at all, sugar spiking, then proteins, then any forms of carbohydrates. So the more healthy fats, clean protein, the lower the sugar levels are going to be. And if we're going to have carbohydrates, we would want to eat them in more of a vegetable form. Okay, so that's the second step. Then number 3 is, are you counteracting the blood sugar levels through other lifestyle things? Breathing, big on that. Movement, obviously we need plenty of it. And then specific things you could be eating like cinnamon and ACV. So these are going to be your big advantages. Now I have an entire training on this, on rotational fasting, which breaks down exactly what I just explained there. And it shows you how to start challenging your body as if you were going to get in shape for, I don't know, you'd run in a 5K, right? You just wouldn't just boom, 5K. You'd have to warm your body up. You can't just boom, change all your eatings and shock your blood sugar and your A1C. We want to challenge the system so it doesn't plateau. Because if you started running 5Ks today and then all you did for the next 2 months is run 5Ks, you would plateau. You'd have to really challenge yourself to get better. Well, we don't want to plateau. And so you might be at a plateau of your weight, you might be at a plateau of your blood sugar results. How do we break through that? Rotational fasting. So we're challenging the body in different ways, where maybe we'll have, breakfast, break, lunch, break, dinner. And we do that for a few days or a week. And then we go, half breakfast, break, lunch, break, dinner. And then maybe we go half breakfast, break, half lunch, break, dinner, right? Maybe we skip breakfast and then just go lunch, dinner. You see, you vary that. In my rotational fasting training, I give you exactly how to do that. Then if we can focus on the right food groups, healthy fats, clean proteins, and then the carbohydrates, vegetables, fruits, things that aren't going to spike our sugar levels much, that's going to help. Then we get into the third and fourth areas of it, which high intensity, short duration exercises. So you can just try on my channel a 10-minute workout where we're doing high intensity, short duration. It takes 10 minutes. You don't need any equipment. You will feel your blood sugar lowering. At the end of it, I'm like, sometimes there's even been times I've gone so hard during that 10 minutes that I'm like lightheaded at the end. It just burns up the sugar in your system. So that is to work with you to put you into fat burning mode faster. That will help. And then breathing. We don't breathe, we're constantly stressed. We're constantly calling upon the release of sugar into our system from our liver because of the amount of stress we're under. Taking what I call nature's cigarette break multiple times a day can significantly help your blood sugar levels because you're too stressed. And it's a 5-second deep breath in, 5-second deep breath out, and you do that for a minute straight. And it's like mimicking smoking a cigarette. Do it for a minute, multiple times a day. Give your body a little de-stress break. Finally, my 2 favorite herbs to put in to have the biggest impact. Cinnamon in your coffee, very easy one to add in, really helps have an impact on the blood sugar levels. But it just sprinkles into your coffee the way that I have it, or any other drink or any other smoothie. And then ACV, down with ACV, yeah, you know me. Apple cider vinegar, you can drink the liquid. Just takes a tablespoon or 2 to have significant impact before a carbohydrate-rich meal. You will help prevent large sugar spike. Or over time, shows studies out of Japan that you can actually significantly increase weight loss over time by using ACV on a daily basis because of the impact it has on blood sugar levels. Now, if you don't like the taste of that liquid, or you're worried about your teeth, or you're worried about burning or irritating your stomach or your esophagus, you could check out my apple cider vinegar capsules, where just one serving of the capsules is equivalent to a tablespoon of the ACV liquid. Another easy way to go. So there's my out of the gates resources and references below. How do I control my blood sugar, my blood glucose, help normal A1C levels, and start to get proactive if you are a diabetic or a pre-diabetic. Now, some specific questions about it for this is, so I had a natural food questions to help lower sugar levels. That hopefully been answered. It's highly tied into PCOS, where someone may be taking metformin, a diabetes drug, for PCOS. Focus on the stuff I'm talking about right here. What else impacts insulin's resistance? We talked about the movement. We talked about the stress levels. Very, very important to be doing throughout the day. Add in the ACV, add in the cinnamon. Someone had asked, recently diagnosed as insulin resistance, right? You've burnt out the receptors and how your body can handle the packages of sugar that come in to the warehouse of your body each day. We need to give that delivery guy a break. He hasn't had a day off all year. So doing more fasting, rotational fasting, check out that regimen. The advice that the nurse practitioner gave of eat small meals throughout the day is actually the opposite direction. You're spiking insulin more. That's not what I would recommend. My sugar is high in the morning. Insulin spikes about 4 a.m. on average, and that insulin spike, the stress response, can amp up the release, the anticipation of I'm starting my day. So controlling stress levels more, you can do that through simply using adaptogenic herbs. So some of those found in my stress support supplement or my sleep support supplement before bed to help curb some of that. Using the breathing techniques, using those right before bed is a great way to relax, but also to decrease the stress. And then you may add in apple cider vinegar before you go to sleep to see if that helps that insulin level by morning time as well. Not uncommon that it raises in the morning though. Someone else had asked about sweets. So if I still want to have some sweets, I still enjoy candies and desserts, what do I do? I just forever am forbidding myself and I feel so restricted. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. There are sources of good dessert recipes in my wife's Make Food Simple book. You can see all the recipes in the back. There's a whole section on desserts that you can still make good stuff that allows you to have sweet things without spiking insulin levels, okay? So you may check those out. With it, there are some candy brands that use more natural forms of sweeteners that don't have such an impact on your insulin levels, that you could enjoy the candy still or those kind of sweet treats without having that significant spike. Obviously, we want less of those foods if we can help it, but there are some decent sources out there of that. And then we want to stay away from any kind of artificial sweeteners. So as long as they're made with more natural forms, a monk fruit, a stevia, an allulose, those are going to be friendlier on your blood sugar and insulin levels. Artificial sweeteners tricking the system more and can actually lead to higher insulin responses and insulin resistance. So I really like to avoid those types. If you need a great breakdown, comprehensive, of which sugars are going to spike my levels, which ones are going to make me toxic, artificial sweeteners, and which natural ones that you could incorporate to still satisfy a sweet tooth, I made the 25 sweetener breakdown, the most comprehensive breakdown of sweeteners on the internet. And you can check that video out right here to help you out. Grab a free book, cookbook below if you need some help with some of those recipes and some of those sweet tooths. But check out this video, it will surprise you. The main ones you should eat and the ones you should avoid.